Hey everyone, I'm Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to episode 63 of Let's Platinum the Evil Within. Alright, let's keep going with this model view and see if we can get this done in this episode. So this is Trauma. Trauma, 8'8", 485 pounds, a creature born from Ruvik's concept of death and rebirth, based upon his rejection of the religion his father forced upon him from an early age. Okay, so you can kind of see that there's like a big, plank of wood attached to him. I guess it's supposed to symbolize like the cross in a way. Yeah, I really like this enemy design. It's really cool. And there's something actually about this enemy that I did not know. In chapter 10, right at the beginning, when you get to the there's like a ladder you can climb down, and there's this guy, a Trauma, and he's walking around. And you can also get him to disappear. I kind of did that a few times in order to save myself the hassle of having to fight him. You can silent kill this guy, which is very, very, very important because he drops 6,000 gel. So it's a real easy way to get 6,000 gel. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of that in AKUMU mode when that comes up. So really, really important, and annoyingly I missed it. Which means that it might actually be possible to get... Well, he's the only other one, isn't he? I'm still not 100% sure how much gel it is possible to get in one playthrough, but yeah. Alright, Sentinel, the dog. 7'10" in length, 6'11" in height, and 573 pounds. Guardian of the church, bred in a cult laboratory beneath the cemetery. Oh, hello. Okay, hang on. Bred in a cult laboratory beneath the cemetery, it was raised on sacrificial victims and craves human flesh. Oh, it's the brain. You've got the temporal lobe, the parietal lobe, the frontal lobe, and I can't read that one because I don't remember what it's called. Something meatus. And then there's the styloid process. It looks like it says at the bottom there. Over there it says malar, but I don't know what that's referring to. Parietal, temporal, frontal, it's just missing the occipital, which is probably... Yeah, it's over there in the corner. If you look right at the bottom of the screen, you can see like half an I, then a P, then an I that looks like a V, a T, an A, and an L for occipital. Okay, that's cool. I don't know what they mean, but I know what they're called. That one is coronal suture, and can't read that one. Okay, that's cool. I like those, like, look how, like, so many small, like, details and stuff. Like, is this the same picture? It looks like it. It's even harder to... Yeah, it is. It's very hard to see. Alright, Laura. 10'2". So wait, is she the tallest one? Holy crap, that's crazy. 10'2", 485 pounds. A creature born from the memory of Laura's tragic death and Ruvik's own vengefulness. The thing is nearly immune to bullets, but reacts violently to open flame, which makes sense because Laura was burnt, which is why fire works so well on her. Quell, 14 foot 1. Okay, so he's the tallest, even though... I guess I can see it. 728 pounds. A creature generated by Ruvik's desire to remain unseen by others. It changes color to blend in with its surroundings and uses its long tentacles to ensnare the unwary and slay them. Yeah, quite a frustrating boss if you don't use the Magnum on him, which is why I chose to use the Magnum on him. Shigio, 20'4". And 1.4 tons, an aquatic monster born when a subject drowned during testing, and their consciousness became lost within Ruvik's mental world. It dwells in the murky depths and attempts to pull under anyone who draws near. So I think this is the monster, yeah it is. It's the one in chapter 11, when you're kind of trying to swim around and he like comes out of the water and kills you. It's called the Shigio. Amalgam Alpha. 12'10". Jeez, they just keep getting taller. Oh no, this one was 20 foot, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Amalgam Alpha, 20'10", 2.1 tons. The final consciousness of test subjects who died while connected to the stem, combined into one single horrific shape. It attacks anything that moves, attempting to flee from certain death. Crazy. Yeah, so you're supposed to shoot it in the eye, and then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heads. Plus the eye, and then it's like middle part opens up, and that's where you can do damage. I want to keep checking like the underside of these things because I feel like there might be more information. Still can't read what the metis thing says. I do remember that word, metis, but not enough to remember the rest of it. Heresy. The big spider boss. 30 foot 2 and 3.8 tons. A monster with massive insect-like legs. The creature is a test subject who completely lost his identity while connected to the stem and went on a rampage, devouring the consciousness of anyone he found. Okay. Amalgam. 68 foot 11. Now we're just getting silly. 320 tons. A creature that combines the anger and animosity of the victims of Ruvik's research and his own madness. It grows larger as it absorbs the fear and hatred around it. Interesting. I love this. Oh, wait, the bottom's different. No, there's nothing, although that kind of looks like it could be a puzzle. The amalgam core. So this is like sort of the very last bit. I think this is just where you shoot. Yeah, you've like blown up that big section, and then Ruvik shows himself. Buried deep within the creature's body, Ruvik is only vulnerable when its head is when it opens its head, exposing the core. Gotta check. Alright, here we go. The Haunted. Group A. Human test subjects connected to the stem and turned into creatures by synchronizing with Ruvik's consciousness. So these were just like sort of people who were connected to stem. They, as they say, synchronized with Ruvik's consciousness. So basically, like, pretty much as soon as they were connected, they became this. So I guess that means that Sebastian is pretty strong-willed to not immediately turn into one of them. Somehow, even people who couldn't be connected to the stem appear as monsters. Interesting. I love somehow. Somehow is a great word to use when you're developing a game and trying to have everything be explained at some point. But yeah, somehow even people who couldn't be connected to the stem appear as monsters. I guess, actually, you know what? I can draw a conclusion from that. I could say that it is like when a person is connected to stem, if they're not strong-willed, they can become a monster, right? Which is why Sebastian is able to sort of stay, retain his own brain and his personality and everything, retain who he is within STEM. But in Haunted Group A, they say some people can't. They just immediately turn into the creatures. When it says here, somehow even those connected or not connected to STEM appear as monsters, maybe they mean it's because like the people who are connected also have fears of other people, and when they're connected, those fears become like reality because the STEM like just kind of makes things happen. So I guess it's like the fear born from the people already connected create new monsters. Haunted Group C. Subjects retain a glimmer of their original consciousness, appearing as they did in life. However, having died in the real world, they have lost their true humanity. Okay, so the only two recognizable figures in here are Connolly, or the named ones are Connolly and Ernesto. I always forget what his name is. It's Marcelo's brother, but I always forget. Valerio. Ernesto is someone else. Valerio. So yeah, Connolly and Valerio must have died in real life, and they appear as these enemies. This is called an invisible, I'm pretty sure. That guy, I'm not really sure about, and neither am I sure about that guy. Same on the bottom. I think it'll tell us a little bit more later. How are we going? Oh, halfway. Alright, Haunted Group D. Haunted attack normal humans on sight and attempt to devour their brains, perhaps in an effort to recover their lost memories. Huh, interesting. Oh. can almost read that. No. Okay, that's fine. What about this one? Though they are simple-minded, some of them use weapons and tools, and some individuals appear to be driven by someone's commands. Yeah, so these particular ones. Interesting. Okay, another group. Just so many groups of haunted. Some haunted having a higher level of synchronization with Ruvik wear strange masks or hoods. So, strange masks. None of them are wearing masks. That guy's got an umbrella. Or is it a woman? No, it's a woman. That woman's got an umbrella. This one's got like a knife. And one that's just like an attachment to her hand, or a replacement for her hand. Fake Ruvik's in the middle there as well. Animals. Birds, livestock, and other living creatures not turned into monsters are almost certainly the remnants of memories of subjects connected to the stem. Okay, so this gives more sort of credence to what I was saying with the memories of the people who are connected to stem are also transforming other, like transforming or creating new enemies. Let me have a look at that. What does that say? I cannot read what the meters part says. A knife. A survival knife found stuck into a dead body in the room beneath the hospital. Apart from a sneak kill, taking on monsters with this is suicide. Okay, so this is actually the knife at the very beginning of the game, where you have to swing to the knife to set yourself free from that trap that you're being like hung upside down from. This is that knife, so that's cool. The grenade. A valuable weapon when in a tight spot facing a group of enemies. A valuable weapon when in a tight spot facing a group of enemies. Lack of care can kill you just as easily as any monster. But we use this to skip a section, so using it really well can help you out. Revolver carried by Officer Connolly. It doesn't appear to have been used very often. Perhaps there wasn't much opportunity. Okay, so okay. That means the gun we use for the whole game actually belonged to Connolly. That's cool. A shotgun designed over 100 years ago. It still performs today, but when discharged, the slide thrusts out the back of the receiver, often injuring operators who are not used to it. This is actually a funny, I think when I was reading this for myself, I remembered a certain thing, and I'm remembering it again. I just happened to catch, there was an episode of CSI on, like, many years ago, and I remember part of the, like, they were doing their investigation and all that, they were doing all the forensics, and they were like, whoever used this gun, like, hadn't really shot a weapon before, because the way they held the gun made it so that the slide pushed back and then sort of damaged the part of their hand that's sort of like at the bottom of your thumb and your index finger, that sort of C-shaped area, and it kind of like it went back and damaged their hand. And I remember for whatever reason just that specific moment in that episode, so it's saying a similar thing there. Sniper rifle. This rifle has an unusual design and appears to be handmade. The scope's mount, hollow stock, and handling are rough, and the balance is bad. So basically it's just an old-timey rifle that's, yeah, hard to use. And it is, but I don't know if that's because the game is, you know, not 100% perfect with the controls. An automatic handgun. The automatic handgun preferred by Joseph. Originally designed for the military, it is sturdy and reliable. It has an excellent rate of fire and reload speed. Geez, if only we could use that. Well, technically we can use a version of it, but I know I didn't choose to use it because it was like a burst handgun. It was like, nah, it's just stupid. A Magnum. A large revolver that fires high caliber Magnum rounds. The weapon itself, as well as its ammunition, are custom made. It makes a powerful trump card. It certainly friggin' does. That thing is really good. The Agony crossbow. A powerful, specially crafted crossbow. The way that it uses trapped warheads means that it was probably created by Ruvik. Huh, interesting. Created by Ruvik. Very interesting. Here's the burst handgun that I was talking about. Pulling the trigger of this special handgun fires 3-shot bursts. This damage-centric weapon is good at suppressing enemies, but is not well suited for conditions where ammunition is scarce. Yeah, so you can kind of like cut enemies down with this, but it's also very hard to control. A double-barreled shotgun. A side-by-side double-barrel shotgun. It is a dependable weapon with a high rate of fire and is a perennial favorite among hunters. Okay, so this one, you can't get this, well, actually, no, I can't say that. I'm not 100% sure if it's possible to get this weapon in the game. It could be a reward for completing the game on Nightmare or AKUMU, or it could also be part of the Fighting Chance DLC pack. So yeah, with that one, I'm not 100% sure. I'm inclined to think it's part of the DLC, but I don't know. I haven't finished AKUMU mode even on my practice playthrough yet, so I can't say for sure. The high penetration sniper rifle. A sniper rifle with improvements made to the barrel and action. I'm not sure what the action of a gun is, but that's what it says. It has a carbon stock, which is the back, and a collapsible bipod. It looks like it's that bit there at the front underneath the long barrel. This high-end rifle is used by military and police sniper teams. Yeah, so okay, that's cool. So it sits there, the bipod, so that they can kind of keep the gun steady. Interesting. A machine gun. A light machine gun, presumably military issue. It uses rifle ammunition, so it doesn't pack a strong punch, but it doesn't kick much and is stable when firing. Yeah, it's this weapon, part of the reason why I didn't even use it in New Game Plus is it just doesn't do that much damage. And it's better to just stick with the pistol because it does a lot more damage and you can just, yeah, I don't know, I think it's much better. Rocket launcher. This military rocket launcher is incredibly destructive. Exhaust is directed out the rear to reduce recoil. Usage has been simplified to the point that anyone can operate it. And the last one are the brass knuckles. Worn around the knuckles, this weapon increases the strength of physical attacks. Okay, again, another one that I'm not 100% sure of. Part of me thinks it's the DLC, part of me thinks it's a reward for completing AKUMU mode. I'm actually more inclined to think now that both the double-barreled shotgun and the brass knuckles are rewards for completing AKUMU mode, because why would they put it in the game or in the model viewer but lock it behind DLC? So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I guess we will eventually find out at some point. Okay, I think we're going to leave things there, and since I'm pretty much almost 20 minutes on this episode, I think I'll just call it a single episode and we can start AKUMU mode next time. Sorry if you're not into the lore of this game. I think that you should be, because it's actually quite interesting and complex, and I like the way that they integrate everything into it. I will do my absolute best to explain the story as we go through AKUMU mode, because it will be it'll effectively be a 100% clear on AKUMU mode, because I'm going to try and get all the upgrades I can possibly get to make my life easier as we go through. It is definitely not required to upgrade anything really, but trust me, it'll make your time doing the mode a lot easier. And hopefully I can come up with some decent strategies to get past each section, because there are some sort of blockade chapters, as you would call it, chapters that are extremely challenging to get past without taking a hit, and with just being able to do it on that hardest difficulty. But we'll start all that next time. So for the time being, I want to thank you all for watching episode 63 of Let's Platinum the Evil Within. My name's Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and I'll see you next time.